Hey everyone, today I'm going to teach you guys 4 board slide variations: frontside board slide, backside board slide, half cab board slide, and nollie or fakie backside board slide. So let's get to it. The whole purpose of this video is, out of these 4 variations, I want you guys, if you're a beginner, to pick 2 tricks of the 4 and make them your go-to tricks. For me, my bread and butter trick is frontside board slide. If I'm at a new skate park and I'm feeling out a rail, I'm gonna use this go-to trick, the frontside board slide, to feel it out, to see how slippery it is, how waxed it is, or on the other hand, how coarse it is, okay? Personally, I like a lot of wax. And so if I find that by testing out the rail it's too coarse, then I'm gonna know immediately that I gotta get out my wax and I wanna wax it a little bit. For the backside board slide, I like to approach the rail on a slight angle. If you're a beginner, for all 4 of these tricks, what I wanna recommend is when you place your board on the rail, don't place it perpendicularly like this, okay? You wanna place your board off to a little angle. That's gonna help you to balance a bit more because you're gonna have more surface area of your board on the rail. And then as you progress and you learn to master this trick, then you can put your board more perpendicularly on the rail. It's gonna make the trick look harder to execute, and for that reason, way more cooler. For the frontside board slide, again, I like to approach this trick with a slight angle. I find on YouTube a lot of people say that it's easier to do a board slide on a round rail, and I would agree with that, but if you're a beginner and you want to learn this trick, I highly recommend learning it on a flat bar. That's going to help you learn to balance on the rail. Then I would say upgrade to a round rail, but learn to get your balance on the flat rail first. The other thing about flat rails is because they're easier to balance on, it's easier to avoid slipping out and like slamming hard on the rail, which I've done numerous times, or even on the ground, okay? So that's gonna protect your face, especially down here, your chin area, maybe even the side of your head, and you can even hit your chest and injure your chest, okay? And then last but not least, sometimes when you slam down, you put your hands out to kind of brace yourself for the fall, and so you can end up smacking your hands on the ground too, injuring your palms right here and getting some nasty bruises. For the nollie back board slide, I actually like to be parallel with it. I find it's much easier to get onto the rail. The other tip I want to leave you with is skate a rail that's commensurate to your ollie. So I've been skating for a very long time and I can get up on high rails. My problem is if I skate a small rail, because I have a bigger ollie, I tend to come down onto the rail and I'll just completely wipe out. And so if you're a beginner, skate a rail that's commensurate with your ollie. So when you ollie onto the rail, you almost want to be getting on the rail as you're peaking at the height of your ollie. You don't want to be peaking and then coming down onto the rail, because when you come down onto the rail, if it's wax especially, you're going to slip out and you could even bust your board. The other thing I want to mention is when you prepare to dismount the rail, you can start to shift your board back into the position in which you want to land, okay? You don't have to wait until you get off the rail and are in the air to move your board back to your regular position. You can start to shift your board as you're sliding and approaching the end of the rail. And that's gonna help you land the trick more easily. And for the nollie cab board slide, I like to approach it on a wider angle. And so out of all the 4 of these tricks, this is the widest angle. It's just easier because your shoulders are moving a lot when you're getting onto the rail. And so the wider the angle, I find you get on the rail nice and perpendicularly. I'm going to talk about a controversial subject in skateboarding, which is the application of wax on a rail. I'm the guy at the skate park who's always putting wax on rails and ledges, and I can see everyone giving me dirty looks. But to be honest, I don't really care. The one thing I do want to say about wax though, and I would encourage you to skate with more wax than the average person, is because when you get into the trick, it's easier to slide. Why wouldn't you want to make it easier to slide on a ledge? If you don't have a lot of wax, then it's harder to slide and you have to go a bit slower, I find. Like, this is what I've noticed with people at the skate park, right? Whereas with me, I can go as fast as I want and I know I'm gonna slide. I love to skate fast, and if I'm coming fast at a rail or a ledge and it's not waxed, when I pop into the ledge, I'm not gonna slide. I'm going way too fast for the ledge, and so I'm just gonna wipe out, okay? And so if you wanna skate fast, I would say apply more wax to the ledge and to the rail. And number two, if you wanna slide farther on the ledge or the rail, apply more wax. But I personally like to grind the whole box or the whole rail, and in order to do that, you need wax across the whole thing, and you need a decent amount of wax, okay? And especially if you want to come off the rail with speed, you need wax. And so if you're a beginner, and of course to be more comfortable and to be more safe, you want to go slow, then you won't need to wax the curb or the rail as much. The thing with wax is you don't want to apply a lot right away. Put one layer on after you test it, okay? If you like wax and you find the rail is too coarse, put one layer on the rail, then test it. Grind it again, slide it again. If you find it's still too coarse and you want more, apply a second layer, okay? It's kind of like painting a wall. Don't just go on there and go crazy with the wax. It's not gonna help you, and it's probably gonna make a lot of other people mad at you too, especially if you like wax like me. So there we have it. Let me know down in the comments below what tip you enjoyed the most, because I want to hear from you and I want to talk with you. I am the Canadian Skater, and I'll catch you later.